Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of ERP
Okay.
in the Indian mid-market.
Sounds good.
I've been doing a little bit of research, and you've sent over some
Right.
fascinating stuff to me.
Good.
And one of the things that really stood out to me was this PwC report
Yeah.
titled ERP Implementation in the Mid-Market.
Right.
And there's this one stat on page 4 that just blew me away.
Oh, yeah.
It says that Indian companies using ERP are seeing a 30% faster order fulfillment rate.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
huge.
it is huge. That's a game changer for any business.
It really is.
Yeah.
It speaks to how these systems can fundamentally change
Yeah.
how businesses operate.
Yeah.
It's not just about the software. It's about optimizing entire processes.
Okay, so let's back up a bit for context.
Okay.
You've been doing a lot of research on the growth of the Indian mid-market.
Exactly. Post-liberalization, this segment has just exploded across all sorts of sectors. Manufacturing, retail, IT, you name it.
It's booming.
It is booming. But that growth
Yeah.
also brings increased competition.
Of course.
So to stay ahead, these companies, they need every advantage they can get.
And that's where ERP comes in.
That's it.
You know, I found it interesting in the report how they position ERP as more than just a tech upgrade.
Yeah. They really emphasize that it's about aligning technology with business goals. Many mid-sized organizations were relying on older systems,
Yeah.
sometimes even homegrown ones,
Right.
which created these data silos
Yeah.
and just hindered their ability to scale.
I can see how that would happen.
Yeah.
Like you've got the sales team over here completely clueless about what's in inventory.
Right.
And then finance is working with outdated sales figures.
Exactly.
That's like a recipe for chaos.
Precisely. ERP breaks down those silos
Okay.
by integrating all the different departments.
Uh-huh.
Now sales can see the real-time inventory, finance has got up-to-date data.
Yeah.
Everyone's working from the same playbook, so to speak.
It's like getting everyone on the same page, finally.
Exactly.
Now, the report specifically mentions the desire for industry standard processes as a key driver for ERP adoption. Can you unpack that a little bit? What does that actually mean in practice?
Sure. Think of it like using a standardized blueprint in construction.
Okay.
Everyone involved understands the specifications, the process, which leads to consistency, efficiency, fewer errors.
Right.
ERP brings that same standardization to business processes.
So it's about creating a system where everyone's speaking the same language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that, in turn, allows companies to leverage best practices,
Okay.
which can significantly boost their performance.
I can definitely see the appeal of that.
Yeah.
I was also struck by how much they emphasized achieving a quicker ROI
Yes.
with ERP compared to custom-built solutions.
Absolutely.
That seems like a pretty major selling point.
It is, especially for these mid-market companies where
Yeah.
resources might be more limited.
Yeah.
Why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah.
When you can implement a system that's already been proven effective
That's a good point.
in countless other businesses.
But wouldn't you say that smaller businesses, maybe with very specialized needs,
Okay.
might potentially benefit more from a custom solution?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It really is all about finding the right fit.
Okay.
The report stresses that businesses need to carefully assess their growth plans, their specific requirements
Got it.
when making this decision.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
No, not at all.
It's about understanding your needs and choosing the best path forward.
Exactly. And that's where the challenges of ERP implementation come in.
Okay, here we go.
Choosing the right system is just the first hurdle.
Right.
There are many more to come.
Well, I was a bit surprised, actually, reading through the report by the sheer complexity of the implementation process.
Oh, yeah.
It's clearly not just about installing software.
Not at all.
Sure.
It involves this deep dive into existing processes, mapping those processes to the ERP system, managing massive data migration,
Oh, wow.
and providing ongoing support.
It's like a company-wide transformation project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why the report dedicates a whole section to the importance of change management.
Okay.
It highlights the need to address what they call the people, the process, and the technology aspects of this shift.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure.
I'm really curious how these three elements actually interact.
Okay. On the people side, it's all about achieving user acceptance
Okay.
and making sure that employees actually see
Yeah.
the value of this new system.
Right.
You need buy-in, not just from the leadership, but from everyone who's going to be using this system every day.
I imagine that could be a pretty big challenge,
Oh, it can.
especially if people are really used to doing things a certain way.
Absolutely. That's where process comes in.
Okay.
It's about streamlining and improving efficiency by adopting those best practices that are embedded within the ERP system.
Okay.
This can involve significant changes to existing workflows,
Yeah.
reporting structures.
So it's not just about learning new software. It's
Right.
about adapting to a whole new way of working.
Exactly. And all of this relies on having a solid technological foundation.
Okay.
You need a system that is scalable, upgradable, and can handle the complexities of your business.
Now, the report really stresses that managing expectations is particularly crucial in the Indian mid-market context.
Yeah.
What makes this region unique in that sense?
Well, one key factor is that many businesses in this segment have evolved organically,
Okay.
which often leads to less structured processes.
Right.
So aligning those processes with the very standardized requirements of an ERP system can be a pretty significant challenge.
So it's about bridging the gap between the flexibility of organic growth and the structure needed for an ERP system to actually function.
Yeah, exactly. And that requires a deep understanding of both the business's current state and the capabilities of that ERP system. It's not a set-it-and-forget-it solution.
Right.
It needs that ongoing effort and adaptation.
And this brings us back to the human element that we
we
were discussing earlier.
Right.
Even with the best technology in place, it's the people who ultimately drive success.
Absolutely. Technology can enable, but it's the people
Right.
who need to embrace the change and leverage those tools to their full potential.
I love that. The report also cautions against focusing solely on cost optimization during implementation.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, while cost consciousness is, of course, important,
Right.
cutting corners can really backfire.
Okay.
Investing in proper training data migration, ongoing support,
Yeah.
that's crucial.
Okay.
Skimping on these aspects can lead to a whole host of problems down the road,
Yeah, I could see that.
which could end up costing more in the long run.
Right. It's penny wise and pound foolish.
Exactly.
So it's about finding that balance between cost effectiveness
Yes.
and ensuring a quality implementation that sets the company up for success.
Right. It's about seeing the bigger picture and recognizing that ERP is a strategic investment,
Right.
not just an IT expense.
I think that's a really important distinction to make.
It is.
It seems like finding that sweet spot between cost and quality implementation is crucial.
Absolutely.
But how do companies actually measure the success of their ERP rollout?
Well, that's where key performance indicators or KPIs come in.
APIs.
Think of them as the yardsticks for gauging whether the system is actually delivering on its promises.
Got it. Can you give us some specific examples?
Sure.
What kind of KPIs should companies be tracking?
Well, the report categorizes them into a few key areas.
Okay.
On the financial side, you got metrics like return on investment, reduction in operational costs, and improved profitability.
So it's about seeing a tangible impact on the bottom line.
Exactly. Then you have your customer-related KPIs.
Okay.
Things like increased customer satisfaction, reduced order fulfillment times, and improved service levels.
Because ultimately, a happy customer is a repeat customer.
Absolutely. Then internally,
Yeah.
you'd track metrics like improved inventory turnover, reduced production downtime, streamlined workflows.
So it's about making the entire organization more efficient and agile.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the report even highlights KPIs related to innovation
Oh, wow.
and learning, things like employee training hours,
Okay.
the number of process improvements implemented, and the adoption rate of new features within the ERP system.
It's interesting how they've incorporated metrics that go beyond just the immediate financial impact.
Right.
It's about fostering a culture of continuous improvement.
Exactly. ERP isn't a static solution.
Right.
It's a platform for ongoing growth and optimization.
Speaking of growth,
Yeah.
the report mentions the concept of beyond ERP,
Uh-huh.
and I'm really curious to dive into that.
Okay. Well, think of ERP as the foundational layer of your technology stack. Once that's in place, you can start integrating other specialized solutions to further enhance your operations.
Can you give us some concrete examples of these specialized solutions?
Absolutely. One area is supply chain management, or SCM. This involves managing the flow of goods and services from suppliers to customers. By integrating SCM with your ERP system, you can get real-time visibility into your supply chain, optimize inventory levels, and improve forecasting accuracy.
So it's like having a bird's eye view of your entire supply chain.
Exactly.
From raw materials to the finished product.
Precisely. Then there's customer relationship management, or CRM. This focuses on managing interactions with your customers.
Right.
From sales and marketing to customer service and support.
Got it.
By integrating CRM with your ERP, you can personalize those interactions, improve customer satisfaction, and even drive targeted marketing campaigns.
So it's about leveraging the data from your ERP system. Right.
To create a more holistic view of your customers.
Exactly.
And tailor your interactions accordingly.
Precisely. And we can't forget about business intelligence.
Oh, right. BI.
Or BI.
Yes.
This involves using data analytics to gain insights into your business operations and make those data-driven decisions.
Right.
By connecting your BI tools to your ERP system, you can unlock a wealth of data and turn it into actionable insights.
It sounds like the possibilities for integration are vast.
They are.
And constantly evolving.
They really are. And what's fascinating is that many ERP vendors are now integrating these capabilities directly into their offerings, creating these comprehensive suites that cater to a wide range of business needs.
So it's becoming more of a one-stop shop for companies looking to optimize their operations across the board?
Exactly. And this trend towards convergence is only going to accelerate in the coming years.
Now, the report delves deeper into specific industries that have been significantly impacted by ERP.
Manufacturing in particular really stood out to me.
It makes sense. Manufacturing is a sector where efficiency optimized processes real-time data.
Yeah.
Those are absolutely critical.
And the Indian manufacturing sector has undergone a massive transformation.
It has.
In recent years, right?
Yeah. Globalization, increased competition, technological advancements have pushed Indian manufacturers to adopt innovative solutions to stay competitive.
And ERP has played a key role in this transformation.
Absolutely. The report highlights several case studies.
Oh, really?
Of Indian manufacturers leveraging ERP to overcome various challenges. One example involves an automotive component manufacturer struggling with inventory management. They had multiple warehouses across the country and no centralized view of their stock levels.
That sounds like a logistical nightmare.
It was. They implemented an ERP system to centralize that inventory data, gaining real-time visibility into stock levels across all their warehouses.
So they eliminated those dreaded stockouts. Exactly.
And were able to optimize their inventory.
Yes.
Which probably led to some pretty significant cost savings.
Absolutely. Another compelling example was a textile manufacturer. Facing intense competition from overseas.
Right.
They needed to improve product quality and reduce lead times to stay competitive.
So how did ERP factor into their solution?
The ERP system they implemented allowed them to track their production in real time, identify bottlenecks, and improve communication between departments.
Got it.
This led to a significant reduction in defects, faster turnaround times, and happier customers.
These case studies really bring to life how ERP can impact an entire organization.
They do.
From the shop floor to the customer's doorstep.
They underscore the point that ERP isn't just about technology. It's about enabling people to work smarter and more efficiently.
It's about empowering businesses to achieve their goals, whether that's improving profitability, enhancing customer satisfaction,
or driving innovation.
And it's about embracing the power of data to make informed decisions. And stay ahead of the curve.
Now, earlier we were discussing the importance of the human element in ERP implementation. Technology is a tool.
It is.
But the real magic happens when people actually embrace that tool and use it to transform their work.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, are there any specific examples from the report that illustrate how the human element can make or break an ERP implementation?
There are a few interesting cases.
There
are a few interesting cases. One that stands out is a company that tried to rush the implementation without adequately preparing their employees. They focused very heavily on the technical aspects, but neglected the change management piece.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It was. Employees felt overwhelmed and unprepared for the new system. They didn't understand the benefits or how to use the new tools effectively. Resistance grew and adoption rates plummeted.
So the technology was there, but the people just weren't ready to embrace it.
Precisely. It created this ripple effect throughout the organization. Productivity suffered, errors increased, and ultimately The project fell short of its goals.
It really highlights how crucial it is to invest in that change management.
Oh, absolutely.
And bring the employees along on the journey.
Make them part of the process.
Yes.
Now, the report contrasts this with another case study.
Okay.
Where a company prioritized employee training and communication.
Good.
They involved employees in the process right from the start.
Okay.
Soliciting their feedback, addressing their concerns.
That's a much more collaborative approach.
It was.
What was the outcome in that case?
It was a completely different story. Employees felt empowered and excited about the new system.
Wow.
They saw it as a tool to improve their work, not a threat to their jobs.
That's huge.
It is.
So by fostering that culture of transparency and collaboration, they were able to create a much smoother transition.
Exactly. Adoption rates were high.
Good.
And the company quickly realized the benefits of the ERP system, both in terms of efficiency and employee morale.
Those are really powerful examples.
They are.
They really drive home the point that ERP is not just about bits and bytes.
Right.
It's about people.
It's about empowering people, streamlining processes, and leveraging data to make those informed decisions.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here, what are some of the key takeaways for our listener who's been researching ERP in the Indian mid-market?
Well, first and foremost, remember that ERP is a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing process of adaptation, optimization, and growth.
And that journey requires a holistic approach.
Yes.
That considers the people, the processes, and the technology involved.
Absolutely. Invest in change management, communicate clearly with your employees, and provide that ongoing support.
Choose a system that aligns with your business goals. Don't be afraid to ask tough questions. And never underestimate the power of data to drive those insights and inform decisions.
And remember, ERP is more than just a technology solution. It's a strategic investment that can transform your business and empower you to reach new heights.
I think it's a great note to end on.
Yeah.
Thanks for guiding us through this deep dive.
My pleasure.
I'm sure our listener has a lot to consider as they continue their exploration of ERP in the Indian mid-market. I'm curious, are there any specific examples from the report that illustrate how the human element can make or break?
Oh, there are a few interesting cases.
Okay.
One that stands out is a company that really tried to rush the implementation without properly preparing their employees. They focused so much on the technical side of things, but they totally neglected the change management part of it.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
This was a disaster.
What happened?
Well, the employees just felt completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And unprepared for this new system.
Right.
They didn't understand the benefits.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to use the new tools effectively.
Yeah.
Resistance just grew, and adoption rates plummeted.
So the technology was there.
The technology was there.
But the people just weren't ready for it.
Exactly. Yeah. It created this ripple effect throughout the organization.
Wow.
Productivity suffered, errors increased.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the project just completely fell short of its goals.
It really highlights how crucial it is to invest in that change management piece.
It is.
And bring the employees along on the journey.
It's so important.
Make them feel like they're part of the process.
Absolutely. Now, the report contrasts this with another case study. Where the company really prioritized employee training and communication.
Good.
They involved employees right from the very beginning. Soliciting feedback, addressing concerns.
Okay, so a much more collaborative approach.
Much more collaborative.
What was the outcome in that case?
It was a totally different story. Employees felt empowered and excited about this new system. They saw it as a tool to actually improve their work, not as a threat to their jobs.
That's a huge difference in perception.
Huge difference.
So by fostering that culture of transparency and collaboration,
exactly,
they were able to create a much smoother transition.
Much smoother. Adoption rates were high.
That's what you want to see.
That's what you want to see.
And the company quickly realized the benefits of the ERP system.
Yes, both in terms of efficiency and employee morale.
That's fantastic.
It is.
Those are really powerful examples.
They are. They really drive home the point that ERP is not just about the technology. It's about the people.
It's about the people. It's about empowering them.
Empowering them.
And streamlining those processes.
Streamlining.
And ultimately leveraging the data to make more informed decisions.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here today, what are some of the key takeaways for our listeners who are researching ERP in the Indian mid-market?
Well, I think the most important thing to remember is that ERP is a journey, It's not just a destination.
Okay.
It's an ongoing process of adapting, optimizing, growing.
It's constantly evolving.
Constantly evolving.
And that journey requires a holistic approach.
It does.
That considers the people, the processes, the technology all working together.
Invest in that change management. Communicate clearly with your employees.
Yeah.
Provide that ongoing support.
Don't be afraid to ask tough questions.
No.
Choose a system that aligns with your business goals.
Yes.
And never underestimate the power of data.
The power of data.
Help you make better decisions.
It's incredible.
Well, I think that's a great note to end on.
I agree.
Thank you so much for guiding us through this deep dive.
It's been my pleasure.
I'm sure our listeners have a lot to think about.
I hope so.
As they continue their exploration of ERP in the Indian mid-market.
Me too.
We'll see everybody next time.